let's go and get Perseus at Sovoletsky. Oh my god, we told the truth, by the way. If you've not been about, I decided we're not going to let Perseus detonate any nukes or any devices that are going to stop him, so it's hard to tell the truth.
Belikov really came through in the Soviet armor. No way I'm missing this. Motherfuckers are gonna pay for Ice Park.
Huh.
Look at your chiefs. Solovetsky's 2 clicks out.
All units, EMP in transit.
Starfish inbound, 400 knots.
Copy that.
Maybe hits will have 12 minutes max before the radio towers come back online.
Understood.
Our job is to knock out the AA guns and give our warbirds a clean shot. Let's take Perseus off the air.
Holy shit, that's bright.
Fuck me, that loosens some fillings. Light 'em up! Bad guys. Lots of bad guys.
Holy shit.
Push up, go, go, go!
AA gun, straight ahead. Heads up, RPG. You got us pinned. Now, drop the smoke for cover.
Oh god. No, no RPGs. On. Oh crap. Okay, let's do this. Oh, it's a shotgun. No thanks. Yeah, I'll take that. Get in there. Oh, sorry, Mason.
Right, stand back. C4 is cooking.
Nice.
Work, Bell. Head for the church. Cut him down. Woods, they're out any AA guns on the west wing.
We're on it, Adler.
Okay, let's do.
This is Hudson. Have you cleared the AA guns? We need to launch these bombers.
We got 1 AA cleared.
You know that's not good enough. I can't risk an early strike. We only got 1 shot at this.
No
You don't
kidding.
think I know that?
Yeah.
Just be ready to launch when I tell you, Hudson. Contact.
I'll take right, you take left.
Take him down, quick. Aim for the head.
Keep your сломаю you.
Whoa, whoa.
We got 5 minutes before all the Europe goes nuclear.
Pick up the base.
Ah, crap.
Adler, you seeing this?
Woods, we're running out of time. I gotta tell Hudson to launch.
That's a big gamble if that gun ain't cleared. Hudson,
Oh,
start your bombing
shit.
run.
Copy that. Get your team out of there, Adler.
Those bombers won't have a chance if we don't clear that last AA gun. You better hurry the fuck up.
Orders confirmed. Bombing strike imminent.
Now, the bombers will be here any minute.
Come on! Where exactly is the damn thing? You know what? Yes,
It's
please.
confirmed. 1 minute to bomb strike.
Radio towers are still booting up. We got a chance.
Ground team zone is hot. We're danger close. We're danger close.
Bell, we
Holy
gotta go,
shit.
now.
Whoa. Well, at least we got to do it.
They did it, Mr. President. They stopped the nukes.
Thank God.
And the CIA.
Did they get Perseus?
No, sir. His whereabouts are unknown.
And a Russian response?
Nothing yet. We're seeing signs of confusion. It's possible this was all a rogue operation. Perseus may not have been following orders from Moscow.
Well, I'll be damned. Maybe we have something in common after all.
We stopped them. Those towers are history. What's your situation down there? Come in.
Shit-faced, I think.
Woods, have you found them yet?
Over here! Give me a hand!
Jesus, we made it out of that? Good God. Whoa.
Take my hand, Bell. We did it. This is a message to Perseus, and those that'll follow him. We don't just sit back and hope for the best. We'll make the best happen. This is how wars are won, Bell.
Do you have an update on Qasim Javadi?
Yeah, after capturing Qasim Javadi, we've convinced him he's better off working for us, rather than against us. The death of Arash Kadivar opens a path for Qasim to take control of their network. He'll give us deeper insight into Soviet activity in the Middle East, and with our resources behind him, he should be able to influence regional affairs for years to come.
That's good.
What about Anton Volkov?
Volkov has become a prime source of information since his capture. After interrogating him, MI6 quickly established a series of listening posts in East Berlin. They've already intercepted messages from the KGB to assets throughout the city. We're poking holes in the Iron Curtain.
How did the cleanup in Havana go?
We were able to recover Agent Park's body from the compound in Cuba. President Reagan personally reached out to her family, and her casket's in transit to London.
We've spoken to MI6. They're understandably displeased. We owe them one.
Lazar Azaleh is recovering from his injuries in Tel Aviv. He'll return to the agency in good time. Pursuit of Perseus is personal for him now.
Sure.
What about the rest of the team?
They got off Solovetsky before the Soviets could send in forces to investigate. It'll take some time to heal up, then it's back to work.
We may have stopped Perseus, but his rats are still nesting all around us, thanks to the help of one of our own.
Well, we did finally get Aldridge. That son of a bitch. Perseus' network is still intact, though. and they'll eventually rebuild.
Well, at least I took care of one traitor, so it's better than nothing.
What about Europe?
Not only did we stop a nuclear attack, we managed to take out Major Vadim Rudnik. That should be a significant blow to Perseus's European network. We also flushed 2 of Rudnik's key assets down the shitter. There's one left, and eventually they'll hit the sewer too.
Such poetry, Hudson. And Bell.
Arctic air. Clears the head, doesn't it? Bell, you made 2 extraordinary sacrifices to stop Perseus. One was without your knowledge. The other, you made that decision of your own accord. I just want you to know that this little thing that's happened with you and me, it was always for the greater good. You're a goddamn hero, you know that, kid.
And never celebrated
Heroes
those.
have to make
Rarely.
sacrifices. That's why when I ask you for one more, I hope you understand. It was never personal.
Well, I think we probably killed each other there. One would think. God, that gave me such vibes of the first game. I love how this game actually, I don't believe there is actually anything after this, so I'm going to skip it. Just so I can talk about some stuff. So, aside from all the shitstorm that's been going with this game, and I'll explain that in a minute, but if you just focus on the campaign itself, I did actually enjoy it. God, this game, I love how they gave you the whole intro to Imran Zakayev, or Zakayev, however you want to pronounce it. I love how that's being pulled into in this game, I really do. That was actually, I think that's actually a really cool thing, how they've tied that whole thing about the whole brainwashing, the whole high security, the whole networks, you know, how that whole thing with the troops out of Moscow, how he had such control, such a monopoly. I'm just guessing, but I would assume that's the whole thing, because he had a huge monopoly at his command, and Malikov, being one of his trusted lieutenants and trusted advisors, basically took over. And it's like, where the hell was Malikov and this monopoly from? And it makes sense when you think of Zakayev. Zakayev have such a power because he had such influence and control inside the Russian troops and their organized intelligence and all that, from what you can see. And it was during the missions, and it makes you think that what Malikov actually got to inherit, which is insane. You know, no wonder Price, Soap, all these other people just struggled. It's like, this guy basically got half the bloody Russian army on his backs to back her. I was like, that's incredible. If you get my point. I just thought that was an awesome way to connect it, you know? A young Imran Zakayev. Zakayev. That was pretty awesome. Grechenko, the asshole. Look, for this game itself, I think the customization was... It's understandable at the end why, but I like how... Because usually, even if they do give you an imprint, it's usually like a preset character of, you know, they're either a former KGB, former Spetsnaz, former SEAL, former MI6, former SAS, former, you know, I've forgotten what the things in the East are. Not the one of the I think it's the Egyptian or whatever it is. There's, but. Anyway, there's all those like the secret organizations and all that, when there's usually like a preset character base, which are like, oh, we've retrained them, but this is what they already, it's like an already pre-established base of traits and specialities, so you just work with that. And this one's kind of cool that you got to set your own. I think that's the first time ever in Call of Duty history that's ever happened, and I do like, especially from the single player, from the campaign perspective, that's actually really cool. I did enjoy it. It's very unexpected, but that's kind of nice. it's definitely a lot of throwback to the graphics were fantastic. It would have been awesome if I could have had ray tracing throughout, but I don't think it was. It's not something that I deeply missed. I think it was just there for an added bonus. I don't think it really was needed. Because you're not always paying attention to the ground like I would be in other games where it's, excuse me, where reflection, where you're not doing much and you're actually gazing at the wall. Reflection is so important. Excuse me. I mean, this shooting games, you're not exactly looking like, oh, puddle, oh, reflection from a puddle. I mean, it's cool, but it's not necessary. So that's why I turned off, because all issues that were going on. So, but the characters are really cool. I love how you got to actually see Mason, you know, Woods, the cat, you know, that just the way their interactions and all that, you know. We've never seen Adler, never seen Park, Lazar, Sims, but we got to know enough about them that it was actually quite cool. You got to understand them and help them and have your interactions. It was just quite cool. Hudson was his legendary self, let me put it that way. You know, you can criticize him, you can love him, his legendary self. And we got to interact with the legendary Mason and Woods, which I think was just bloody awesome. You know, we got to play against them. Mason still had the numbers going through his head, but to be fair, just because you break through something like a mental brainwash, it does not mean it necessarily dies away so quickly. At least that's what I think. So, but I think that having the weapons customized already in this game and being able to choose, you know, go from one thing, swap out, get some ammo, have it reload, or back, I think it depends on your settings, but in general, it's actually really cool. I like how they put that in. A very Call of Duty thing, I think that is. I don't think they have that as much in Battlefield. There are some of the later games like Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, all that sort of stuff. We really get to customize your weapons, and I like how they had that to a certain degree, but it still very much pulls you back to the old weapon styles, but still gives you a bit more freedom and customization, which is really cool. I did appreciate that. Like I said, the links to the Modern Warfare series with Zakayev, Malakov, all that sort of stuff, I think that was really cool. The character models are actually really quite good. It's, you know, you could play this on the previous gen consoles, but it looks sharper. It, you know, the picture's crisper, as you would expect. You know, as long as they don't have a tragic mess what they did with some things, I think it would actually be quite good setup for next game, you know, honestly. The missions, they were actually, you know, the missions were sometimes quite short, some of them were quite detailed, but, you know, they do what Call of Duty does best. They, at least as far as I'm concerned, a lot of time they go for more quality over quantity. You don't always have to have a hugely long set of missions, or if you do, there's more substance in the missions, or at least there's more interactions, or, you know, there's more story to the shorter missions. You don't always have a lot of fighting, it's a lot more story, which is I actually like sometimes, you know, which it's more become, as much of as a shooting game, Call of Duty over the years has become more of a story based as well, which is nice because you got the characters become legendary and synonymous with Call of Duty and all that, which gives you a good story basis to work off, honestly. So especially in a series as famous as Modern Warfare is in the COD series. I mean, Black Ops is that, but you know, they're both as famous as each other. I mean, arguably okay, some of the later ones aren't quite as such, you know, I mean, but they're still very memorable for various reasons. You know, you can love them, you can love some of the games, but you can absolutely love most certain games, you can hate certain games, but you certainly have a great appreciation and respect for the series, you know. So, which I certainly do. There's a lot of games I love. There's maybe 1 or 2 games I'm like, but we all have our own opinions. You know, it's the story I thought was quite unique. I love the way they told it. It really did give me Black Ops vibes, bleh, which was quite cool. I'm perfectly happy with that. So that was awesome. There was nothing wrong with that. It was really like, you I mean, you sort of get an impression, but it's like when they drill it into you in the end, you start figuring out the brainwashing, all this, like, wow, like they've actually like that. This is all he's willing to go to that extent. Which, to be fair, when you're sort of running like a Black Ops, scheme or operation, it makes sense in that regard. Honestly, it does. At least as far as I'm concerned. Now, as far as the shitstall that was the bad side of this game, okay, I don't care whether you're a multiplayer, zombie, whatever fan. This game suffered, in my opinion, in one of many aspects because no Call of Duty, to my knowledge, have you ever had to install separately the campaigns. They've never been in a separate install. It's always been part of the main game. And I remember times when zombies and multiplayer were available after launch, like weeks to months after launch, anything from 2 weeks to 3 to 6 months, and everyone to play the campaign and maybe a couple of rounds of zombies and wait for multiplayer. Now it's flipped, and I don't like that. I respect that people love multiplayer and love zombies. I respect that, but Call of Duty's been so much about single player that, as far as I'm concerned, for someone who plays single player only, I don't care about the zombies and multiplayer. But for a series to just jump scope and say, oh no, we'll give you a choice. No, if you're gonna do a game like that, have the campaign installed with the game, and whether it as part of the main base game, and then give you the choice of whether it's arcade, zombie, or multiplayer, whichever one you want to install as a separate feature. But part of the main base game, the campaign must be included. And those statistics brought out a couple of years ago saying that roughly was it 5 to 6%, maybe 7% of players who actually start playing campaign actually finish them. I don't give two shits. There are many people like myself who actually do shoot games, and we play the campaign games. And you know what? Even if we might get to the last mission, we just either get too busy doing other things, get caught up doing other stuff, and we forget to play it, or we do the missions, and then it's like, yeah, this is great, we've done the campaign, fantastic, and then they move on to zombies, but they do the campaign. But that's not what the companies read. They read the statistics of, they've done this, that. They don't give two shits about the campaign. I don't care. You've got to give the campaign. And this is the first Call of Duty I've played. Bear in mind that I didn't play Black Ops 4 because that was more or less Battle Royale, I believe, which didn't have a campaign, or at least it was something else. It wasn't like your general campaign, so I never bothered to play that because the multiplayer doesn't suit me. I don't like it. That's just me. I'm not a big fan of it. But if you take that game aside, all other Call of Duty games I've played, which is a lot, I think all of them except for Call of Duty 4 and beforehand, because that's just from the old previous, way down back previous generations. But it was those that, Call of Duty is synonymous for its campaigns, and it's more recently become, zombies has become super famous from the movies and TV programs and other games, zombie games, and multiplayer has always been a big platform for Call of Duty. Don't get me wrong, but it's always been a post-launch thing. If you're gonna, I had no problem putting multiplayer at launch, but I draw the line that if you're going to make multiplayer more important than campaign, then you basically changing what defines Call of Duty. And don't get me wrong, like I said, Call of Duty was always, multiplayer used to come afterwards, or it was unlocked or whatever, and there was online server platforms for it, but there was always a campaign, and it was always there day one for you, and then you had to wait maybe a month or two for multiplayer, and then tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people start playing multiplayer. That's fine, but they got a chance to actually play the campaign in the meantime, which is the whole point. Give that the base installation. So give people the chance, the opportunity to say, okay, maybe I want to play through the campaign a couple of times, even if it's not the best, it's there. For those of us who actually enjoy that and just buy the game for this, sort of thing. And you know what? You know, and afterwards, if we want to, and then perhaps give the options where, or, but you know, if you give the options where it's say, excuse me, let's say arcade mode, but let's say it gave you a choice of what you can install. You can install which install first should be campaign, multiplayer, zombies, and arcade blade. Say 3 months down the track to as a bonus. If you give the choice of, we'll give you which you can install first from day one, or as part of the base game, fine. But don't leave us some option actually have to go into the bonus content section of a bloody Call of Duty game. I'm sorry, that frustrated the hell out of me. I actually didn't even know what the hell it was. I completely missed it. I pissed me off when I went to do it and found it wasn't there, and I was searched everywhere, and I finally found the bonus content section. I'm like, what the hell's a campaign doing in the bonus content section? Oh, that aggravated me. But the thing that was the constant crashes, there was bad connections to the host servers. This game is, there was at one point where, I believe it's even still, there was, I think it was after about a month this game came out, or like 2 weeks after this game came out. This game was played with the intention that you had to have a PS Plus subscription to play this, especially online stuff, which is bullshit. I'm sorry, what the hell? I shouldn't have to pay extra money on top of what I paid for the game. What the hell? That annoyed me. I've literally only bought this, I've had for like 2 months, I've only got the subscription just so I can play this damn game, which is one of the reasons I want to complete it so quickly, apart from when I went and did a couple of other things in the meantime, because of server crashes, game bugs, all this bullshit. I mean, to the point where it crashes. This game crashed my console 4 times in the time I played this game. 4 times it crashed my console, my PS5. I know it's only on there, but I'm just highlighting here. It crashed my PS5 4 times. Twice while I was playing it, and once while I was trying to access campaign mode after I'd installed it. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Luckily they brought an update which did things. Some suggested turn off ray tracing because it helps later on in the campaign, and I did it and it seems to work wonders. Anyone who's having extra problems and is having, I found a feature which actually bugged out. There are times it seems to be a real issue, is that if you do the campaigns and if you've installed them already, what will happen is occasionally, I've been finding this 2 or 3 times already, that the game will try to re-download or reinstall the campaign packs. At one point I think I had campaigns 2 and 3 installed at least. I had campaign 2 installed 3 times, campaign 1 installed twice, I think campaign 3 installed 3 bloody times. And I wonder why the game's chewing through my the SSD capacity, because the SSD is only about 660 gig, for those who are wondering. It's not 825. The just dragged 150 gig out their arse and say, no, we'll give you less. We'll only give you like half a terabyte. Work with it. That's a whole different argument. I'm just saying, that pissed me off. So I'm like, pick and choose, because I've got a game I want to play. I'd like to install, which is like 100 gig all up. But I've got to install this one. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to play it and get it finished. The campaign's good, but the game was crashing, all this sort of stuff. It was terrible. It was just blanking out in the middle of missions for a lot of people. Me included, would just quit. It would just do all this shit. If you come, I recommend disabling ray tracing, just for the sake of it, probably help you a little bit. Also, I would highly recommend that. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but if you're playing campaign and it's screwing with you, and so you've installed all three campaign packs, but the game suddenly decides to re-download just 1 or 3 or more, and reinstall it more than once, like re-download more than 1 copy, it will corrupt your game. It did that for me. because I went to do it and it corrupted the whole thing. I had to uninstall it and reinstall the damn thing, and it did the whole process. It took a few hours, but it meant I could finish the game, which is fantastic. So my recommendation is, for me personally, what I found is, if you have multiple copies that just download because that's just the game trying to think it's not got them, so it re-downloads them for some stupid dumb reason. If you got more than one copy you think downloaded, and you're having more problems or crashes, I highly recommend that you go to settings and you switch off the automatic download or the automatically install downloadable if you get downloadable updates and all that, because on PS5 you can option it's set to automatically download updates and install them. If you turn that off, so you can manually do it, especially for games like this at the moment, until they fix all the patches up, which is going to be a bloody while, I think. If you turn that off and then and if you're experiencing these problems, if you think you got more than one copy of the campaign of, say, campaign pack where it's 1, 2, or 3 installed, you got probably 2 or maybe 3 you think downloaded and installed, and you're getting crashes, I recommend you uninstall the whole game. Just keep your save files, reinstall them all, and it'll come with the update, the campaign packs. And the way I do it personally, because I find this the easiest way and it's the most sensible way, you let your game and data and the main base game data download and install first. Then you pause the campaign downloads and the update. Then I know it sounds simple, but just to help people in case they're wondering, then you download and install each of the campaign packs in order. Then you download the update and let it install. And because you've got all that switched off, so if the game wants to suddenly try and re-download another campaign pack, say, no, you piss off, you screw the game over. It might help you. It's let me finish the game, and I'm really pleased about that. So that trick worked for me. If that trick down the road helps a couple of you, fantastic, because this game is being wrought with issues, from crashes, console crashes, game not working, server disconnect, where it's unable to find servers, crashes. It's a bloody mess. But if you take the game for what it is, where it's struggling to log in, if you take the campaign and the actual modes, it's probably fantastic and it is really good. But the game itself at launch, it was an almighty mess in my opinion, and it could have been so much better, could have been so much they could have been much more refined. There's all these little things they're trying to add and set up and do. It's like, why? Give us the game that works, don't let it crash, because it was only this and maybe one other game that was crashing the consoles. Mass crash all across the board, and it was awful. People complaining, thousands of people complaining about it, and it makes the game unplayable, and it really pisses people like me off that want to do recording or even just want to play the game for itself. Because once I'm done recording this game, I am not going to play this ever again. I'm not risking it until I am able to transfer PS5 files over to my extended storage, which I have connected to my PS5. So I can just store it in the background. I will not ever play this. I'm going to record it, store the files away. I'm just going to uninstall this game and forget about it. I would rather go back and play the new Modern Warfare campaign than worry about this game until they fix stuff, because it's not worth the trouble. If you can get it to work, I reckon you'll enjoy the campaign. If you enjoyed the Black Ops series and you love Call of Duty, you'll love it, I reckon. But be warned. I just thought I'd point that out there because I wanted to point that out there for touch wood reasons. The whole anything happens. Anyway, we're gonna end it here. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. I know it's a bit annoying at times, and I can get quite frustrated, but I still really enjoyed it. Big plot twist. Some interesting things. Really brought back a lot of deja vu for me. So I hope, for those of you Call of Duty fans, hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Thank you so much for all the support you show in this series. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you next time for a brand new Let's Play. Take care, everyone.